Hey, how's it going? Just out walking the dog. It's nighttime. And I haven't done one of these live from my phone yet. But I thought I would do one now. Because I just had one of those days where I didn't feel great. Things didn't quite go my way. And I think it's important to, I guess I just wanted to record that that's the way it goes sometimes. That if you're building your own thing, if you're a creative, if you're a maker, an entrepreneur, sometimes you don't feel great. By the way, check this out. This is amazing. That's the background there. Come on. Yeah, that is the life of a creative. That's the life of anybody who makes things for a living. That's the life of anyone who runs their own business. It's definitely not all fun. It's definitely not easy. And people always say that, but man, when you're in those dark moments, when you're actually experiencing it, just how disheartening some things can be, yeah, it's not easy. Let's try to switch hands here. Whoa! All right. Yeah, and I guess I'm trying to figure out how to express this, because I know that I know you've experienced this. If you've ever been working on your own business or making your own thing, it's impossible for you not to have felt disheartened. It's impossible for you to not have felt like that this is hard. And I think for a long time I tried to avoid feeling bad. Like, I tried to hide from discomfort. I didn't want to be uncomfortable. I didn't want, bad things to happen to me. I didn't want any of that. And by the way, is there a chat on here too? I have no idea how this works. I tried to hide from that stuff for a long time, and what I'm trying to realize now is that when I'm going through a hard time, when I feel down, when I feel disheartened, I think that some of our best creativity and our best growth happens in moments of discomfort, happens in moments of difficulty. And so even like today, and it could be anything, like sometimes there's not even a reason for feeling bad. You just, you get someone who asks for a refund, which is really normal in business, or something didn't go the way you wanted it to, or, the past couple of weeks I've just felt kind of, like I don't really have a direction. I'm like trying to figure out my next step, and I haven't figured it out yet. By the way, can you guys see that sun? Well, you'll see it in a bit. And so yeah, the feeling bad or feeling disheartened can have all sorts of reasons, but I try not to hide from that anymore. Even though it's hard to have a longer term perspective that, really real growth and really some of the best creativity comes out of being uncomfortable. And in some ways that gives me hope. Even when I don't feel great, I know that there's the possibility, there's the potential for a lot of growth. I think the other thing that I think about is today at the end of the day, I was just finishing up and I was just feeling like garbage. And I emailed 2 friends that I've been meeting with every week for the past 4 or 5 years. And Paul and Jared. And just having people in your life that you can talk to, that you trust, that kind of know not just what's going on in your business, but also what's going on in your life is really helpful. And not just helpful, but completely necessary. And I was thinking like, man, what would I do if I had nobody I could call and nobody I could email? Because you kind of feel lonely as it is when you're not feeling good. But if I had nobody to call and nobody to email, man, I don't know what I would do. That would make this journey almost impossible. And so if you're going to do this, if you're going to build a business, if you're going to live a independently creative life, if you're going to make things for a living, if you're going to run your own business, you need some friends that you can call and that you can email when things get hard. And that's going to mean like disappointment. We've all had that. Even your biggest heroes have had disappointment where they were really leading up to something, hoping it would go a certain way, and it didn't. And then, there's that disappointment of putting all that work in and not getting anything out of it. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call when things aren't going the way you wanted them to? So that's the second thing. What was the first thing? First thing is, we don't grow unless we hurt, really. And that sucks, but we don't grow unless there's discomfort. We don't grow unless we have moments of being down. And then the second thing is, you are going to get down. And those down moments, even though they're necessary, they are also dangerous in that you can, have prolonged depression, you can, all sorts of things. And so if you need to have friends that you can call. And I would also maybe this is my third thing, is something that Nathan Barry recommended to me and basically everyone he meets nowadays, is to get therapy. And I've just been doing this talk therapy. And it's been really helpful. I do it through an app called Talkspace right now, where you can chat, just like text message, or you can book a video therapy session. And the accessibility of that has been so nice. And I think Nathan sees a therapist in Boise. Whatever you do, I think it's also important, in addition to friends and all those other things, you need to get the professional too. Come on. Sorry, there's another dog here that's that my dog wants to play with. So yeah, find a professional too. Like, don't try to do this yourself. Don't just rely on friends. Don't just rely on your own kind of independent problem-solving ability, because it's not going to be enough. And for a lot of years, I thought it would be enough, And it's proven that I've seen that I can't do it alone. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to say. Just a quick check-in. Funny enough, I feel better just talking to the screen right now. By the way, look, this ranch land and everything, this is incredible. But yeah, I thought it was important that like I said, I wanted to capture this moment of me not feeling great, of me feeling disheartened, of me feeling like I don't know what, at this moment, things feel like not hopeless, but we all have these moments where it just feels like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do next. And I often kind of brush past those and don't share those moments. But I felt like it was important to kind of try to capture as much of that as I can, even though I'm still putting on a pretty brave face. There's a lot more turmoil inside than I'm letting on. And the funny thing is, like, even when you experience these things, by the way, look at that sunset. So good. Even when you do experience these things and you have a long-term view, you can recognize that these feelings are just temporary. So maybe that's the fourth thing I'll say before I go, is that if you are going through a downtime, if you have tried some things and you're disheartened now, if you're feeling, what's another word for disheartened? Like not just unmotivated, but like down. Just know that it doesn't last forever. You'll have a moment where everything feels hopeless, and then the next moment you'll have a breakthrough, and you'll feel like you made it through. I don't know if I'm burned out. Someone in the chat just asked that. I don't think this is burnout. I think this is just feeling down. Like, there's that documentary that I think CNN did it. Yeah, look this up. There's a CNN documentary on depression in San Francisco and Silicon Valley. Can't remember what it's called, but my favorite line of it is there's this mentor and counselor that I guess counsels a lot of CEOs in San Francisco. And he said that the human condition includes brokenheartedness, but we just often pretend that it doesn't. Whoa, sorry. I'll say that again. He said the human condition includes brokenheartedness, but we often just pretend that it doesn't. And I think the myth is that entrepreneurs and creatives are just supposed to always be these people who are always like brave and just soldiering on, and they got thick skin, and things happen to them, and it's like water on a duck's back. It just brushes right off them. But I don't think that's true. I think that, and again, I want to kind of put this in context. I think it could be as simple as, like, one thing that got me down today was I had someone ask for a refund for one of my products. And it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it just sucks. It just feels like my work is being rejected. Even though it was clear that this customer was not a good fit. And like, it's clear as day rationally, but emotionally, it still kind of breaks your heart a little. And I know some of you have just had a bunch of heartbreak. Like, you've tried thing after thing after thing, and it just hasn't worked. And I want to say, I think that that's normal to feel that. And obviously we can't be in this mode forever. That's why I think friends and a support group are helpful. That's why I think therapy is helpful. And I think that's also why it's important to have this perspective that in hardship, when you're experiencing hard things, that's where you grow. That's where sometimes you have your biggest breakthroughs, as long as it doesn't break you. And that's really the tension, isn't it? Is that it's the hardship that gives us the breakthroughs, but we don't want it to be so hard that it breaks us. Whoa, I almost lost my thing. So yeah, that's, and I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, I think it's important that you do remember, and the antidote for a lot of this is gratitude. I know a lot of the talking heads, a lot of the thought leaders have been talking about the importance of gratitude, but I have noticed how helpful it is to just be grateful for what you have, be grateful for the good work you've done. I keep this folder in my email in Gmail called encouragement, and whenever someone says something encouraging to me, I put it in that folder. And when I am feeling disheartened, that's something that I'll go through. Is, it can just take one kind of bad comment to tear you down. And so if you have like 100 encouragements that you can read through and be like, okay, I am doing good work. I am helping people make progress in their lives, and it's okay. Yeah. So I think I got to go because my battery is getting low. But thanks for going on this walk with me. Hope that was helpful. If you guys have comments about what you do when you feel disheartened, leave it in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. This is kind of like me. This is like a comedian working out his material at the local club. This is pretty raw, and maybe I will, refine this into a blog post or, something else later. But I would love to, hear your comments on how you deal with heartache, how you deal with being disheartened, how you deal with setbacks, and maybe also what you've learned from those moments, like what good came out of some of those moments, because I think there's a lot of good that comes through those hard times. Sometimes even just taking a good hard look at, like one question I'm asking a lot with one product I have is, do I have product market fit yet? And I think product market fit is something that you're always kind of working on. It's not like a destination. And so sometimes like the disheartening bit is, oh, I don't have product market fit. And it's just the honest rawness of that, of I don't have product market fit. I need to work on that. I need to figure that out. So there's good that can come out of this stuff too. Anyway, this is a 20-minute video. One more panorama of beautiful British Columbia. Again, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to just message me privately, email words@nerdnorth.com or justin@megamaker.co, or get me on Twitter, the letter M, the letter I, Justin, M-I Justin. See you guys later.